Welcome back to another reaction for Roll Over and Die, episode 4. Right. We tried to run away from the vortex enemy that we found again. That for some reason is after her. Normally going deeper is not advisable.
とにかくここから出なきゃ。そうっすね。
She did feel some wind. Oop. Opening. Light darkness.
ここも真っ暗。それに誰もいないみたい。セイラちゃん、こっち続いてるみたい。今行くっす。ここは広いね。お姉さん、ランプ起動装置があるっす。本当だ。
For some reason, as she was saying a magical lamp, I thought maybe a lantern, but not like a ball you activate. What do you activate them with? What do you activate them else? I mean, mana is the only sensible option, right? Looks like one of these tubes where people are in like some kind of liquid. Oh, it is. Okay.
着いた。なんかすごいところっすね。これは。
What is this?
何かの。
Yeah, some chimeras. Right.
研究施設っすかね。
Is that maybe why this cursor or whatever it is after her? To make a chimera out of her? Is that why?
これって。
What we have? I see a face at least. Maybe humans? Bodies?
どうしたっすか？ダメ。セイラちゃんは見ちゃダメ。わかったっす。それよりお姉さん、これ。何これ？入り口の近くに落ちてたっす。
It's a book.
だいぶ汚れてるけど、そこまで古いものではなさそうね。どれどれ？あれの制御ができなくなって2日が経った。つながりが足りなかったからだろうか。確かに接続不足だった。何が典型だ。何が国のためだ。俺は俺だ。俺は俺だ。巡る、いや巡らない。接続したい。
So whoever did these experiments, I assume, got consumed and is now the curse itself, the purple thingy. It would explain why it is conscious and trying to hunt her down, potentially as another ingredient. It also has this whole Frankenstein vibe where the creation is going to kill the creator.
つながりたい。それが英知に到達する手段だ。真なる英知は、真なる平和は、実現されるには裁き、あるいは支配を。
その汚れた紙の束には螺旋を描くようにこう書かれていた。フラム・アプリコットと。
Why?
また
I mean, whoever wrote this book did write about divine revelations. So it may be that he got like a message from God about her and her name. Why? I don't know. Before she was not really that strong. And I'm assuming that before she took the sword, they did not hunt her down. I don't know. I'm assuming we get those answers at some
お姉
point.
さんの名前どうしてなんで私の名前がここに出てくるの
And what do you mean by pay for your sins? What did she do? Okay, help.
どうしたのセイラちゃん今何か聞こえなかったっすか
I feel like
やっぱ
whoever that is, we cannot help and probably don't want to help.
り聞こえるっす私たちの
There's
他にも
most likely
誰かいるんだ
Chimera
助けるっす
that is going to attack her. Could mimic her voice.
こっちみたいっすこっちっすこっちから聞こえ
Okay. This looks very modern, like stainless steel.
るっす入ってみようフラムお姉さんあよかった
Maybe we shouldn't call her name anymore.
大丈夫ですか
How about we have a nickname?
一緒にここを出ましょうさあ
Yeah, no. Gonna be Spiral. Or Shinji Ito.
見つけた。その女性には顔がなかった。代わりに螺旋が渦巻いていた。
I do wonder, is whatever's inside the spiral, is that connected? Is that like a wormhole to some place?
なんすかこれ全然受けないっす
Oh. I was like, oh, maybe she's getting stuck in. No, she's going to remove her arm, which is the how that is so crazy. It is the most sensible thing to do. Again, crazy. But in this situation, yes. I'm still, because whatever is the Rasengan here has some kind of reasoning behind it, and it is hunting her, and it also seems to be connected. Maybe not. Maybe it is not connected. Because if the werewolf with his swirly face, if his goal at the beginning was already to hunt her, okay, I was under the assumption that after the fight, the squirrel, whatever, whirlwind was hunting her. But if it was before, then there may not be a connection. Now, where it comes from, I have no clue. I'm assuming it's the monster yet now, or other monsters. If every one of these little creatures in these vats also have a Rasengan, then you have a lot of people after you.
セイラちゃん、私の腕に回復魔法をかけて。でもそんなことしたら早く。分かったっす。リカバー。
Right. That is what we found out last episode, that healing magic is hurting her. It just broke off, okay. Wouldn't the sword have been easier? Maybe... Did we lose the sword? I don't believe so, right? We should have still the sword on our body. I feel like that would have been easier than using healing magic. Also feels like it could mess with her mentals, because normally healing magic always helping people, now it is hurting people. Mostly her. Did it actively go after the white-haired one? Or I guess we evaded. For a moment I was like, first off, our equipment. Second, for a moment I was like, maybe they each Rasengan wants to get Plum individually. They're not like a whole entity together, working together. But I guess this is just because we waited, and that is, you know, it was not intended to hit itself, essentially. But it happened because we evaded. Oh. Equipment back.
大丈夫っすか？セイラちゃんが一瞬で消し飛ばしてくれたから。 痛みが長引かずに済んでる。それはよくない。捕まってたまるかっての。
Yes, we lost our sword. I don't remember. Why don't we have our sword? Wait, wasn't the sword in her body essentially? Is she not able to summon the sword whenever she wants? Was it this one? Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense not to have the sword here.
巻いたっすか。どうだろう。このまま逃げるのは難しいっすよね。
Because we did try to scout. A little bit wondering why we don't use it.
でも今の私じゃあのオーガは倒せない。どうにかして攻撃の威力を上げるしかないっすね。セイラちゃん、さっきの部屋に戻るよ。
Are we just going to kill all of these for experience? Does that work? Additionally, I would have what I would have tried. I don't know the stats of the ogre or whatever that is, but maybe you can push it off the stairs. Maybe fall damage is going to deal enough damage. That is what I would have tried, or at least considered. But maybe she got a bad idea.
行くよ、セイラちゃん。行くってどこへっすか？
Into the pit with all the guys, humans? Or are you trying to find cursed equipment?
なんすかこの匂い。これ全部死体っすか？ごめん、セイラちゃんには見せたくなかったんだけど。
Why do we have so many corpses? They also look like they were mummified, drained. Are these maybe power sources? They got their life drained, and you use it as like a battery.
ごめん、セイラちゃんには見せたくなかったんだけど。
Or there's a cursed item down here. It doesn't really explain why there are so many corpses here. They don't look dismembered for the experiments, but maybe they are.
何か探すんすか？呪いの装備、これだけ死体があるなら混ざってるかもしれないでしょ。反転の力を使うつもりなんすね。
I just had an idea. What if at some point we have all this nice cursed equipment and we get blessed? So all the equipment turns positive? I feel like that would be very bad.
ほらもう
If that is even possible.
セイラちゃんはやらなくていいよ。修道女に死体漁りなんてさせられないよ。いえ、ほら生き延びるためなら何でもやるっす。それで薬草を探してリーチさんの奥さんを助けるっす。お姉さんだってミルキットお姉さんが帰りを待ってるっす。そうだね。
その時二人の運命は暗闇に沈み、小さな光明が姿を現した。
俺たちを追ってきたっすか？厄介なやつだね。お姉さん、助けて！お姉さん！
Right. She can summon it. Okay. I was not wrong. Now, for some reason, we found these boots. Eh. Yeah, these guys are not as easily defeated though. God Hater leather boots. Epic. This equipment allows your total stats by 2,000. This equipment freezes your body. Now this is one of the two things. First off, finding it in here. Okay, I mean, there's a chance, sure. I mean, how did he even end up here? Because if the equipment freezes your body, so you can't move, how did you end up here? That is a little bit weird. I feel like we are not going to get an explanation for that, because someone wore these boots. They also reduce the stats by a shit ton, which is insane. But I feel like there are too many negatives on these items. I would like some of them to have an upside so that our character has to decide which one to wear. So we have at least a trade-off instead of just powering up all the time. Unless we really come across something that blesses items or decurses them, so it goes reverse. I don't know what the reverse of freezing your body is, so I'm assuming we're going to find that out. But not that much of a fan. I would much rather had a cursed item that maybe produces energy or magic or whatever that is related to the experiments. And the idea is that you threw down these bodies here because their life energy may have add this item as example. Something along those lines instead of, again, how is the body even here? It would be frozen and then someone sold the frozen body to someone, I guess.
お姉さん、セイラちゃん、まだ油断しないで。おかしいっすよ。首を落としたのに。
And now you are able to freeze other bodies. Cool. So the equipment that freezes your body through the reversal freezes other people's body, which would be fine. The problem is the sword that liquefies you does not liquefy other people. So the rules are a little bit weird.
なんで倒れないっすか？
I'm assuming we are never going to get the stats back. Roll over and die. Cursed sword stats. Now this could also be that this at some point gets increased, whatever. That it changes its stats. Curse. Powerful curse weapons that due to her unique reversal, blah 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 blah. Original curse intended to drain damage or impose severe penalties. Sure. It does not tell me. Okay. Can't easily find out. Because depending on the wording, I can see that it may change. The reverse effect. It is a little bit weird that she can now freeze enemies.
あいつに近づいただけでズタズタになるっす。
Additionally, the boots had the freeze effect, not your weapon.
こんなの相手にどうすれば。
フラム、これは自分より何倍も強い相手を前にしたとき、限界を超えた力を発揮するための手段だ。
Who said?
発揮するための手段だ。
シャバリエアーツ。なんすかそれ。うまくいけばあいつを倒せるかも。何か打つ手があるんすね。でもただ少し時間が欲しい。
I mean, time is the only thing we don't have. Essentially, unless you continue freezing him and just freeze his whole body, I guess.
時間稼ぎなら任せるっす。本当言うと防御魔法は得意じゃないっすけど。ごめん、セイラちゃん。
Why does Cavalier art even take time? Is it for you to learn? Because otherwise it feels like a very useless ability in a fight.
ディバインプロテクション。ガディオさん、ガディオさん、ガディオさん。こんな朝早くから何してるんですか？
ああ、軽い運動みたいなものだ。毎日修練しておかないといざという時に役に立たないからな。キャバリエアーツ、これは体力をプラーナと呼ばれる力に変換し身体能力を高める技術だ。
ステータスが上昇した今なら。
What did you say? It's a technique that converts your stamina to a power called prana and uses that to boost your physical abilities. So you have stamina convert into prana to give you higher stability, okay. So instead of using mana, you use your stamina. Understandable. Now, how does that look? Is it a buff? Is it increasing your stats? That is going to be interesting.
そうした今ならできる。
How it interacts with her now.
プラーナは魔力以上に流動的で滑らかで清らかだ。故に邪念のない澄んだ明鏡止水の心が必要となる。
まだまだ。
一度掴んでしまえばあとはたやすい。
One of those typical techniques that whenever you want to use it once or the first time, it's hard, but every other time it's going to be easier and easier. Similar to magic in other
プラー
stuff.
ナが満ちたのなら全てを解き放ち剣を振るえ。
ウラムのフルー剣は未だ完成には至らぬ。その場しのぎの付け焼き場、いわばプラーナシェーカーイミテーション。
やったっす。もう一度。お姉さん、オラが。セイラちゃん。
体力はすべて注ぎ込み、とうに限界を超えていた。
足りないならひねり出せ。ないなら理由を考えろ。ずっと今まで何もできなくて、
それでも
必要とされなくて、
それでも
まともに生きることも許されなくて、
それでも
本当は怖いし泣きたくなる。
それでも
いるきっと。こんなところで死んでたまるか。私は生きているきっと幸せにするんだ。
Okay, there's a core inside that you can destroy. Interesting. I mean, the whole power of friendship thingy, simple trope. I do not know the Cavalier art thing. Because it's going to increase your abilities through some kind of buff. And that is the question. Because at this point, we are unsure how the reversal works. If it increases your stats by like a multiplier, if it's a fixed value, I would assume it should be reversed. If it is a multiplier, then it may not be reversed. The other way, the only way I can see this working, or the best way to make it work, is to just have the effect be on everything at the same time. essentially, her stats are still 0. She just gets more stats from the weapons and her equipment. So whenever she increases her own stats, or the negative of that, it doesn't really do anything because she has 0 everywhere. Now the sword gets buffed as well, and it multiplies the points on the sword itself. So it gives it minus, let's say, 2,000 points then, which then are transferred to her. Maybe that is how it works. If you have a multiplier, because her stats are 0, even if the multiplier for herself are reversed, it doesn't really change anything. And her equipment are not under her effect, essentially. And for all the buffs that apply to them, I guess. It's the only way I would be able to explain it. We will see. Because consistency is, in my opinion, very important for a show like this. We already have the sword who the reversed effect of the sword is only affecting herself. Meanwhile, the boots are affecting enemies, which is a little bit strange. Because normally the boots would freeze the wearer, but now it freezes enemies. So the who it is affecting got reversed, not what it does. Which is different to the Curse of the Sword, who the effect didn't, who it affects did not get reversed, but the effect itself got reversed. So it's a little bit inconsistent. It may be to do with the naming, or how it is being said, or whatever. That decides how it get reversed. I would have liked it more if the boot just gave her immunity to freeze, essentially, instead of freezing enemies. It didn't even come into play right now, so.
今度こそ倒したよね。やったぜ、お姉さん。
Did you fall asleep and wake up again?
お姉さん。
And another one.
嘘でしょ。
クリムゾンスフィア。
I assume it's the mage lady from the hero's party. But I felt like she used little drone.
まさかこんなものを作ってるなんて。人間って困った生き物ね。あらやだ。ウラムちゃんじゃない。
It's a demon. I was like, is that a demon? I was unable to really make herself out. But yeah. How does she know Flum? What is the connection there? We are not going in there. Oh, we do. Maybe Flum was the child of a demon? Infiltrating humanity? Maybe? No? Maybe they know each other because they fight each other the whole time. They had the whole fighting demons kind of thing. But you know, humanity demons, they are friendly, and the demons are told to not kill anyone. So very questionable. This is also very weird. I'm assuming that she knows her as well, our hero.
目覚めたのねフラムちゃん。よかった。
サンマ礁がなんで？
覚えててくれたのねフラムちゃん。魔族寮で会った以来ね。
魔族がこんなところにいるわけない。
When did you meet? That is a lot of stats. Hematophage. I'm assuming blood magic.
合計値3万超え。間違いなく本物。
偽物なわけないじゃない。敵意もないわよ。現にあなたを助けてあげたし。
What about the nun? Okay.
この人殺しの化け物め。
聞き捨てならないわね。いいよ。魔族は人間を殺さないのよ。
マリア姉様もオラも魔族に故郷を奪われて大。
I mean, that was what I assumed was happening, that especially because of her, because her whole village believed in someone else, in a different god. So the assumption is that they burned down, the humans burned down her village to remove all traces of that other god. Because that is how the church works, I guess. I don't know how the other village really got removed. Maybe same point, same situation. Which also would mean, because there's like the peace between demons and humans, and the humans essentially are making a hero unit to fight the Demon King. This whole thing may be more coming from the human side. She's very strong. We saw the demons more or less easily defeating the heroes. So it may be that the humans are always the aggressor against the demons.
それはあなたが自分の目で見たもののことなのかしら？
それはでもオラを助けてくれた教会の人たちが教えてくれたっす。
教会ね。じゃあ聞かせて。あんな偏僻な場所でこんなうさんくさい研究をしているオリジン教をあなたは信じられる？
I mean, there's no evidence that this was the church. Could have been demons.
どうしてそこで教会の名前が出てくるの？
フラムちゃんは気づいていなかったのね。でもその子は気づいていたみたいよ。
I guess some of the structure, maybe the magic item.
最初天井にあったレリーフにオリジン教のシンボルが描かれていて嫌な予感がした。
Why would you put your own symbol? That is so stupid. Why would you put your own symbol in these hidden laboratories?
それにあのノートに書かれていた文章、経典と似てたっす。
Which means that essentially the church is after her. After Flam. Why? Maybe because she got chosen as a hero, but with 0 stats? Maybe that is the... It may also be like a oracle kind of thing. They did say or talk about divine revelations. There may be one that is telling them that Flam is the beginning of the end of their church. So they want to get rid of her, maybe?
ごめんなさいっす。言おうと思ったっすけど、どうしても信じられなくて。つまり地下の施設は教会のものってこと？
私ね、それを調査しに来たのよ。教会が研究してたものが 私たちにとってはちょっとばかし都合の悪いものでね。
研究じゃああれは実験？あのオーガもあれも、あそこには魔物の死体もあった。もしかしてここで量産されたもの？
それよりフラムちゃん、どうしてこんなところにいるのよ。それにその頬の印、奴隷につけられるものでしょ。
それは
ひどい話ね。
フラムお姉さんってやっぱり英雄フラムアプリコットだったんすか？
やっぱり今はただの冒険者。
You already know her name, right?
依頼を受けて薬草を取りに来たら化け物に襲われたってわけ。
お姉さんが倒してくれたっす。
セイラちゃんが手伝ってくれたから。
ちょっと待って、本当にフラムちゃんが？どうやって？
気合でわーってやったら水晶みたいなのが割れて動きが止まったの。
コアが割れた？これをフラムちゃんが割ったの？
ああ、それ。
ね、このコアもらってもいい？
I mean, you are nice and all, you rescued our life. I am apprehensive about giving you this core, especially because you want it so much. On the other hand, I'm unable to stop you from taking it, so because you helped us and stuff, I am willing to give it up. I am going to magnanimously offer this as a present. Not like you know, you could have just stolen it, but yeah, we ignore that.
セイラちゃんを出してくれたら。
A nun saying sorry to a demon is a little bit crazy.
ほら、さっきは感情に任せて悪いことをしてしまったっす。それにフラムお姉さんにも。
私に？
オラが教会の怪しい情報なんて持ってこなければこんな目に遭わなかったっす。ごめんなさいっす。本当に悪いことをしたっす。
謝らないで、セイラちゃん。
それじゃあオラの気が済まないっす。
セイラちゃんにはすごく助けられたんだから。
そんなことは。
もう神気臭いわね。重い空気は今の風で吹き飛んだ。わかった？
魔族に気を使われるとは。
魔族が気を使うとは。
It means they feel like normal humans, essentially. Blue.
確かにオラらしくなかったっす。ところで目が覚めたらここにいたっす。ネイガスが運んでくれたっすか？
ええ、あんな死体だらけの場所に女の子を寝かせておけないしね。
ネイガス、ありがとうっす。
ね、あなた
セイラス。
オリジン教の修道女が薬草を取っていい
What is this symbolizing?
の？ご法度じゃ。
病気の人を助けるためには薬も必要っす。
Or is this supposed to be the flower? Because this has like this symbolization of friendship blooming, or maybe something a little bit more.
不良修道女っす。
She seems to be very taken by her. Again, may just be friendship.
入り口を塞いだ岩は取り除いておくわ。それじゃまたね。
魔族は本当に殺してないんすか？
神魔戦争の時は犠牲も出たでしょう。でも誓って自らの利益や快楽のために殺すことはないと断言しておきましょう。
誰に誓ってっすか？
神なんて信用できないから。セイラちゃん、
ほら。
Interesting. Gods cannot be trusted. So they may have believed in a god, and that is how they got turned against humans, maybe? Maybe that is the whole thing? Or maybe they trusted a god and that god puts them up to killing another god. You know, the whole we have a god, like a mother essentially, and then another god comes in and is like, here, give your mother this little drink because this is going to make her happy, and she dies, something like that. But it also means that the god we know, the god of creation or whatever, the one that chose Flum, supposedly, is only one god. And the goddess that Sarah believed in, or her village believed in before, was probably also a god. There may be a bunch of gods, and slowly but surely the church removed all mention of the other gods, which could be interesting, especially because it seems like not only are they real, they could potentially fight against one another, and some of them are definitely bad.
神のようなあなたに誓っておくわ。
コマルス、何かを隠しているのはなんとなく気づいてたっすけど、まさかあんな研究をしてたなんて。
あれが生物兵器だとしたら王国も関わってるよね。
王国っすか？
規模と古さから考えると教会だけで作れるとは思えない。魔族は人を殺さないって言うし、もう何を信じていいのかわからなくなってきた。
オラも頭の中がぐちゃぐちゃっす。お姉さん、あれ
これがキアラリ？
やっと帰れるっすね。
帰ったらミルキットのご飯が食べたい。
すね。
I hope nothing happened. Oh, it's the end of the episode.
おかえりなさい、ご主人様。
I'm assuming it's the guys that were after Flum. They're going after Mick as well for some reason. I don't know why. Because they're assholes. Yeah, I'm unsure about the rules of the reversal. It's getting a little muddy, which I do not like. I will prefer some clarification. Also, getting the right equipment at the right time is a little bit too on the nose. It makes sense that the demon was here, because they seemingly are searching for these installations, because something is going on, clearly. But we will have to see. Maybe it is going to be cleared up. And it's not necessarily bad that you got some equipment when you needed it. It doesn't feel great. But you can do it once or twice. You should not rely on that. You should prepare equipment beforehand, or a way for her to get the equipment, so it doesn't feel essentially a cheap power-up. But we will see.